Well, what is up, everybody? LUI here, salute you wherever you are. And guess what? Already a top 6 Mr. Olympia video, May the 30th. Is this real life? Isn't it too soon? Or is it? Well, guess what? It is not. The gentleman you recognize obviously is Phil Heath, 6-time Mr. Olympia. And guess what? His prep will commence. It will begin on June 3rd in few days, and he told me, bro, I'm gonna have a serious cheat meal with his girlfriend Curie, who you can see he shared this pictures from. She's very involved actually in his prep. I talk to him quite often, and she's really his rock basically when it comes to his quest into beating the records of Mr. Olympias. Nonetheless, he published this picture lately, and he said something like this. This was in 2010. Back then, he used to weigh 232 pounds. He was fuller, although right now he rolls around 250 pounds stage weight. And I do recall, like 2 or 3 months ago, I didn't comprehend what he was saying. He told me, bro, in 2016, I was not the fullest. I agree. He agrees with his trainer, Henny Rambod. They both do agree that somehow he could have been fuller. Although, in my reckoning, and you guys agree with this, it was the milestone shape of his life, the best shape ever. I mean, it was like a freaking storm, a tsunami. He was in a league of his own. It was not even funny. I mean, the head judge, Steve Weinberger, he was just messing around. I mean, he could have retrieved him from the top 6 lineup and just shuffle the rest of the guys, because, I mean, quite frankly, he was just ahead of the game. It was not even funny. It was boring. Right? He was that much in the lead, especially from the back. Nonetheless, let's do this. And this time around, let me do it in a different, or rather peculiar, or as they say in Britain, uncanny way. Usually we go from the last position and we go down to the first one. This time around, I'm going to do it from the top and we go to the rest of the position. And right off the bat, Mr. Olympia 2017, I do predict genuinely that's going to be Phil Heath for the 7th time in a row, thus joining in the Hall of Fame Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. Now, he will have a serious cheat meal in a few days actually with his girlfriend Curie that you see in the picture, and that he will share with you guys in his social media, so be tuned for that. Now this was the the famous milestone kind of pictures, and again, thank you, Mr. Matthias, we see from an overachieving team on the road by. This guy gets the best picture out there. And just look at this. Just look at this and wow. Say wow. You know what? A lot of people, a lot of outlets actually of bodybuilding do not like Phil Heath. He is the most hated bodybuilder. Also, he's as much loved, and the hate he receives, it is as tremendous as the hate, as the love he gets. So it's rather special, his case. But even the naysayers had nothing to say against this milestone of a shape. In a lineup of 6, put him next to Big Graeme, Dexter Jackson, and Shawn Rhoden, and even Bonac. The dude was pretty much attracting the light. It's like he had a special spotlight showing the very details of this back. It was 3D, or as I said, he was 4K. That sentence is right now taken by his trainer Henny Rambod. He said, bro, this year I'm gonna bring the 4K, forget about the 3D. And it truly is. This is like the Cobra effect from a guy who is not the widest. He is actually narrow upstairs. I mean, the shoulders are quite narrow. They dinged him for that when he was a newbie. But look at this. You got some Cobra eyes here, and the very thickness, I mean, the sheer size of this meat. Slabs here are just out of this world. Last year I dared basically naming this abnormality here. I named it the Central Valley. The freaking Central Valley in California, where 35% of the veggies in the US are produced in this very fertile ridge right here. It is abnormal. It's literally a crack, right? It's just getting thicker and bigger and deeper, like a freaking Grand Canyon right there. That is not a single comparison in the lineup as a gentleman who has that. Even Bonac does not have it, right? And again, the conditioning, it flows well. Let's forget about the upstairs and take a look at the downstairs area. And quite frankly, not to be compared with nobody. Nobody is bringing this kind of conditioning down there with this type of muscularity. I mean, the hammies, baby please, and the glutes tie-in are just proper. They're on another level. I mean, if Big Graeme brings this, or Dexter, they're not even close, right? Let's be honest. So this is a winning position, and he destroys pretty much all the lineup. It's not even funny, man, right? Same goes with, I mean, these are the two main dominant position that he has, and nobody is compared to him, quite frankly. Back double bicep, it was just proper. Again, we're not gonna extend on the lower section as well. Take a look at there's just the meaty there. In this level, we dare like dismissing how the arms are so good too. I mean, look at the separation he has with that triceps. It's like the second best in the world next to Bubander, Rolly Winkler, the brachialis, the biceps again, and the radiobrachialis or the brachioradialis. It is one of the best in the world, only compared again to Rolly Winkler. The delts are amazing. They're just bombs coming at you, and he just dominates. He just bullies guys bigger than him on stage with these two positions. It's just not even funny. I mean, Steven Weinberger comparing with other guys for a long time, it's just for fun in a sense, right? Proceed, shall we? One of the very, I mean, he's so versatile in the most muscular pose, not even funny. He does so many variations. He can choose anyone and he gets them all right, and usually he kills everybody in them. You name the guy, right? He gets them so good. He flows so well. The roundness is just proper. And let me remind you, he said he was not fooled, right? He was not fooled. He also mentioned to me, and this is kind of a secret, but not a secret anymore because it is so far back. Back in the day, he had some sort of an injury in the in the legs. He did not mention where, but he was not able to do squats and some heavy lifting downstairs efficiently. That seems to be fixed because look at the outer head. It looks like literally Photoshop, and this has been grown. It was not like this in the previous years, believe me, right? Now, let's be frank with my friend. He's a very good friend of mine, but I have to be honest with him. I don't like this pose fit. He knows it. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I mean, the downstairs area is just great, but I think he struggled with some stretching, and he confirmed it somehow. I mean, he has his Cairo always with him, and he had some issues in the shoulders up there. You can see that he struggles to bring the arms backward in a sense, some sort of a stretching, right? Combined with the midsection, that it was not the best ever of him, right? And as a testament, I'm gonna show some old pictures. Not only that, the tie-in between the very midsection and also the lats. I mean, it doesn't flow well. It just doesn't. I feel some tightness here. That's it. I just don't like this pose. I think he is very beatable. And you name me a guy in the top 4 last year, and probably they would have beaten him, in my book at least. Big Graeme, Dexter Jackson, and Shawn Rhoden. Especially Shawn Rhoden was definitely better than him in this mandatory pose right there. Again, the muscular pose, take-home pose, no doubt about it. Another variation, the very crab. The way he does it is kind of physically interesting in a sense. He leans forward, bringing the butt backward, so he looks a little bit more stalkier. The legs are being shown, right? And he got that equilibrium on the stage. Whatever, even if he stands next to you, he's almost cheating because the upstairs area comes at you, right? So he plays more on 3D. I mean, he's almost like cheating, but legally, right? Because he knows how he does it. He brings both the legs and also the upstairs area, so he looks like really a crab in a sense. And again, these arms are only paralleled with that of Bubander, so hard to beat in the top 4. I mean, Bubander is not top 4, so he cannot box with him right there, you know what I mean? Proceed, shall we? Now, another position, on pose, sorry, mandatory pose that I disliked last year, and I told him about it again. We spoke about it. That's what he told me, actually. He has some tightness somehow in the shoulders. Thankfully, according to him, it is fixed this year. And quite frankly, this position, I personally have Dexter in front of him. Now, better to know that Dexter, the freaking vampire, he does some stretching training, not even exercise. Does not do it for fun, but he does it for functionality. He is as serious, he is as diligent in his stretching as he does for lifting. And look at the fluidity. He's so fluid. You can see the the bicep very well. I mean, he can bring basically the wrist almost parallel to his head on in direct line. That'll feel Heath a little bit forward compared to his head, and that is due, in my opinion, to some tightness there. It shows. Usually if you can bring them a little bit backward, you will definitely see the tricep sweep in a more eloquent way, in a sense, right? Not busy, right? It's like a tailored position, and it will affect everything from the front, even the lats. And those of Dexter Jackson, for instance, I think they flow better. In this position, I think he's very vulnerable. If he does not fix it like he was last year, he will take it, right? I mean, these two positions are two that I don't like. As a testament, an old picture of Phil Heath of back in the day, to be more precise, 2009, where he was no tightness up there. And look at the very sweep of the triceps. It was more some sort natural. Look at the lats, how they flow as well. I think there's less tightness in a sense. It was just flew in a little bit better, right? You can see that his neck is a little bit struggling to hold this pose. Not that fluid compared to the Dex, right? That's my opinion right there. Proceed, shall we? Another position that is, debatable in a sense, and quite frankly, well, I don't think it was the best on stage. Certainly not the best in top four. Namely, I think that Big Graeme smoked everybody in the front lat spread, understandably so. He's so wide, and those lats are just Independence Day. Phil Heath here, I think, is very vulnerable if he does not fix it, this pose. Now, it is debatable. I don't know what's going on in the heads of the judges. Maybe they gave him this pose, but last time I checked, it is called front lat spread. Front lat spread. In my head, I always think about the lats first before taking a look at the arms. Now, granted, his arms are better, are miles ahead compared to that of Flexor Shawn Rhoden, but what about the lats, right? The V taper, I do generally believe that of Flexor Shawn is definitely superior to that of Phil Heath, especially in this position. And bear in mind that the judges compare you not only to the guys next to you, but to your old self. Case in point, your old self. I think that back in the day, although he was probably not as big, he used to flew better in a sense, right, compared to last year's position. But then again, I mean, off record, he told me, bro, there was some tightness up there, and if it is fixed, this will be basically irrelevant, right? Nonetheless, the dude is so dominant when he is dominant, because all these positions, you can say it is debatable, right? I mean, you can agree with me or not, but certain others, I mean, he's so dominant. This is a side triceps. It has the same name actually in French, right? Triceps, cage, and it is all about triceps. You need to look at the essential muscle. I mean, the name of the position. Of course, if you look at all the rest, the sweep of those hamstrings and the midsection, then again, he is lucky here because, that of Dexter Jackson, the midsection is not the most tight in the top three. But when we go to the arm up there, the very superiority of this genetic freak is on another playing field. Take it from the shoulder down and everything is outside. The separation is just outstanding. It's not even funny. And we're talking about Dexter Jackson. Dexter is not a nobody, guys. I mean, Dexter is up there, is the cream of the crop. But it is nitpicking when you compare to the likes of Phil Heath. The separation between the muscle groups, the outer head of that triceps is just on another playing field, and his 3D effect basically make him so dominating in this. And same goes with the in French called biceps cage. You guys in English call it side chest. You know what? He is good, but I think he is still vulnerable. I think he is not dominating, right? He probably beat everybody, but is he dominating like he's from the back? I quite frankly do not think so. As a testament, the very separation in the downstairs area when it comes to Dexter Jack, I see the quad definitely flexed better, the outer head. I see some details that I don't see on film. The hamstring, the way it hangs low, it is as impressive as a Miss Olympia, and the tie-in with the glutes, although we cannot see it properly. both are very decent. And upstairs, be my guest. Be my guest. It is just, I mean, you can give it to either guys. They're just very, very good. Next to the guy who placed second last year in the same side tricep, I think he will always kill Shawn Rhoden in this. It is not even debatable, for the simple fact that Shawn Rhoden, for the life of him, he never had separation. It's all about the separation of the arms, or rather the lack of it. The lack of it, because with all due respect, the separation, even the training videos in his social media, they don't take that independence. I don't see that very separation between the brachialis, bicep, and triceps in the arms of Shawn Rhoden. And as a testament, when he plays second, quite frankly, compared to Mr. Olympia, it's laughable at best, right? Phil Heath, back in the day, as a testament, he was always better. What changed a bit, let's be honest here, the midsection is not as tight, is it? I think the midsection just a bit. Thankfully though, he is next to Shawn Rhoden and Dexter Jackson, who are not known to basically have a proper control of that midsection, if you ask me. Some sort, let me open a bracket here. Gigantism, I mean, there is this gain in spree that is pushing guys to get bigger, and for that, fortunately, the midsection is following, right? So we don't ding them for that. These top three guys, they'll always win, but the midsection is not as tight as it used to be, and you know, pictures do not lie. Nonetheless, it's so dominating in that 3D, in that outsized arms, so he should dominate from the sides, especially in the side triceps. Right, number 2, Big Ramy. I was talking to his trainer, one of them actually, because he's trained by the team. The whole team is on this guy pretty much. So I was talking to Abdullah a few hours ago, right? And while he said he's coming at it, you know what? And I do agree. I do think it will be the best shape of his life, no doubt about it. Has been progressing all the way, right? And these pictures I have chosen from Arnold Classic Europe, which is pretty much just right after Mr. Olympia, where he peaked. Because in Mr. Olympia, I called him medium Ramy. He was definitely depleted. Hell, the change between prejudging and the finals was rather stupendous. But he peaked better, actually, I think, here and also in Kuwait. And that was the reason of the controversy, because, I mean, I didn't understand why he didn't win in Europe, mainly Spain, and then he won in Kuwait, and they were just giving prizes to just like that, for whatever reason. Anyway, this is the top shape of his life, I think. He is the biggest on stage. He needs to be like this. He needs to be bullying people, because even when he came as medium Ramy, it was like, I don't know, like 289 or 290, but he looked small because the dude is just gigantic. He needs to be himself, namely Big Ramy. His real name is Mamdouh Hassibieh. He has chosen a nickname Big Ramy, so damn it, be big, be what you are. I mean, I'm sorry, if you're made to be big, if you're Marcus Rule, you cannot be a freaking small guy. And this is the way he should roll with these guys, right? He can do it, so be it. He's definitely strong. I'm expecting him to be progressing from every single front pose. Every single front pose will be tremendously oversized. This is a side chest. Let's wait, because we're going to see it next to Dexter Jackson. We'll geek out about it right there and then. Now, this is him next to Dexter. Now, Dexter is the vampire of them all. 46 last year, 47 this year. I'm guessing it's butt, muscle, maturity, and please do not compare him to nobody, because nobody lasted like this guy. I mean, everybody is geeking about him being done this year or that year. He always proves us wrong. So that's about it. Now, Big Ramy, when he's big, he's big. And quite frankly, I had him winning versus Dexter in this competition, namely Arnold Classic Europe, and vice versa. I had him lose him in Kuwait, but they gave them the opposite. You ask me why, I don't know, right? So when he is big, he looks confident. It looks in his face. He's not tired. He can move about. And why is he superior to a smaller, actually, Dexter? He has a smaller and a more controlled bubble gut, or the lack of it. I mean, the midsection of Big Ramy is always controlled all the way. He never had it. And that needs to be saluted by the judges. It's a big point ahead. That's why you never ding him, right? Everybody who is competing against him, the top guys, I'm sorry, their midsection is not nearly as good as the giant, the biggest guy of them all. I mean, this guy is 350 off season, for Lord's sake, right? From the back, I'm sorry here. I do recognize that, you know, the lower back of Dexter, it's just better. It's more mature. It's just more there. I mean, the muscle is just more developed. That's it. These guys are both lean. But if I compile all the points here, I had Big Graeme winning. I mean, definitely winning. You know, it's bodybuilding. Last time I checked. So the mass plays. I mean, it's a mass game at the end of... These guys are the biggest human beings, right? Right? His calves, he brought them better. Those of Dexter, especially the right one is just not there. Whatever, I think it's nerve issue, but it's just not developed. And be my guest, I mean, when it comes to the glutes, hamstrings, they're definitely very, very good, both of them. And just the size of Big Graeme, it's just not bad. The width, it should be noted. So Big Graeme was a little bit ahead of Dexter in this position. And I think, you know, by logic, just logic, he would get more mature. And that's the rule he had following. It's like it's like mathematics for him. He was just progressing. And that equation meant for the last few years is always adding something, getting better. So this year will definitely be better than this. If it was close last year, Dexter is Dexter since 20 years, right? And let's be honest, he's not progressing that much. He's still good. He is good. He is what it is. He's the blade. But Big Graeme is on a progressing curve, so to speak. So logically, he will be even better this year. Thus, he will surpass the blade in this position. So this is the side position I was talking about. And now here, it's nitpicking, but I do see that the hamstring of Dexter just it hangs lower. It is what it is. It is dynamically lower, and that is a point to Dexter that Graeme needs to fix. It's not far. Don't get it twisted. That's why I have him so close. But he needs to fix it, and theoretically he will be definitely, let's say, incrementally better for all of us. This is what I don't like, and as I voiced that to the camera crew as recent as a month ago, and some of them salute, some others, like, you know, I do understand they have different mentalities, and if I don't agree, I'm sorry. The back of Big Graeme, some say, okay, it's genetics. I don't agree. I do see a proper match. Don't you see it? Take this picture, put it in contrast, and add some filters. You will see that the lats are there. I mean, look at them. They attach very well. They're very low. They can be meatier. It is what it is, guys. I mean, training and, you know, techniques at the gym, they have their role. It's not all about anabolic chicken. I mean, you think that Dorian Yates was only about anabolic chicken, and you think he did not put the work, the proper work to develop that magnificent back? Same goes with Ronnie Coleman. I just think it is my own belief. I might be wrong. I just think that this back is not worked in an optimal way. And I told them. I told them, and I told him, and what's it? Some take it, some do not accept it, but it is what it is. If I'm right though, God, good Lord, we're out to see pretty much the best back ever, because he is larger than Dorian Yates. He went to the gym of Dorian Yates actually 2 years ago, when it was still open, because I think it closed like last year, and he tried to do that old Nautilus, as we say in American, Nautilus machine. You know, when you bring your elbows forward to activate the lats, he couldn't fit in because he's larger. He's just wider, bigger than Dorian Yates. So imagine if this back come to fruition. And I told him directly, I told him, listen, you work out in the most complete gym ever, right? I mean, Oxygen Gym is the best in the world. It is too complete. To do the triceps and the biceps, you need to be in 2 separate floors. Literally, you cannot like superset biceps and biceps, because one, you have to have a floor for machine for the biceps, and you have to go up for the triceps. It is so complete. It is just amazing. I told him, bro, forget about all that machinery, forget about the apparatus, and, you know, just concentrate on the basics. And I just told him that it's just my opinion, guys, right? I will see how it goes. Nonetheless, proceed, so it's gonna be a long video, bro. I love this passion. When I have a passion about a video, it just flows. I don't calculate. The words come in. It's like freaking verses of poetry. I love this back too. Can it be better? I think we better. For Lord's sake, I see the tie-ins are there, so it's not some sort of genetic weakness. If you talk about freaking, what's his name? Dennis Wolf, yes, high lats all day and every day. If you tell me about Branch Warren, yes, genetic issues, right? But Big Ramy, I'm sorry, no, it's not. So proceed, shall we? Nonetheless, I think he will be second. Second, and I'll tell them what I told the Camel Crew a few hours ago. Told them he might win. Now, let me put this on record. He might win because everybody's a human. If Phil Heath messes up, this guy is posed to take the first send-out. Okay, is it on record? Okay, if Phil Heath messes up, injury, you name it, he bloats or he overspills with water or whatever, although it's highly unlikely, but if it happens, because shit does happen, this guy is poised to take his first send-out. All right, that's it. I mentioned before that he is so dominant in this pose, it's not even funny. He beats everybody. Phil Heath, he beats him all day and every day of the week. Shawn Rhoden, Dexter, Jack, you name me the guy competing in Mr. Olympia today. This guy, look at the saturation there. There's no void, there's no air. It's just proper. He keeps everybody in this pose, right? So dominant. Number 3, it's gonna be Dexter the Blade Jackson. And quite frankly, with all the, I love him. I love Dexter. By the way, I always talk to his girlfriend. She's very passionate about him. She's very involved in his career, and you know what? He'll be number 3 because he will stay at the same amazing shape, right? It's not about him at this point. It's about the progress of the younger cat, Big Ramy, and you know, let's just be quick with Dexter because we spoke about him. Words cannot describe him. He's probably the king of longevity in this business since ever. I don't even recall a guy like this. It didn't happen. I mean, Albert Beckles, you name it, Robbie Robinson, but he's on a different level. So for him, we proceed. He should be number 3 in my opinion. Number 4 / 5, because he will. I have this guy either number 4 or number 5. So put it on record. Bonac, I see him progressing. This was in Arnold Classic Europe as well. He is, as I mentioned to him last year, he's like a little pit bull, literally a bulldog. Now granted, he is definitely narrow upstairs, but so is Mr. Olympia. Nonetheless, look at the very thickness. You guys remember when I started this video a long time ago, meaning 25 minutes ago, I told you, remember Bonac? The thickness of Phil Heath is more impressive than that of even Bonac, because Bonac is something. Bonac is the next guy to be compared when it comes to the very thickness, the slabs of the meat down there. Just Bonac. And the downstairs area, look at the glutes there. They're huge. They're definitely oversized. And let's see the front so you guys will comprehend the roundness he has in these quads. Are just amazing. What is he dinged with? Is the flow of the physique. Let's say the flow. I mean, I did the video yesterday of Mr. Flex Reader. Let's all agree with all the respect. I mean, this is merely genetics in a sense. It doesn't flow that well. This front double biceps, you can see, wow, it's the most beautiful one. Let's agree on that, right? But he's doing what it takes with what he has when it comes to gifts, genetics, and also flaws, right? Nonetheless, when he saturates the most muscular pose, as I mentioned last year, there is no void. You can see the air. Let me see the air. Let me see the air here. No, there is no void. There is no saturation. It's all saturation. I have no idea how he can basically wash his neck with this proper saturation. Again, the roundness of the quads is also stupendous. These are just boulders everywhere, right? So this guy will be either number 4 or number 5. This was magnificent too. I mean, the crab pose, he have it so distinctive. It is one of the most proper up there. Now he will share that 4th or 5th position with Shawn Rhoden. Now Shawn Rhoden placed 2nd last year. Was very, very disappointed. I had a little chat with him for like 10 seconds actually, sorry. After in Kuwait actually, and he was not very talkative, understandably so. I mean, the guy placed 2nd in Mr. Olympia, and after that in the tour, I mean, he didn't gain nothing. They gave him no prize. Everybody won. Dexter won, Ramy won, and then Bonac, and they gave him nothing, even in Prague, right? he was taught in actually trying to steer some passion, so to speak, with Phil Heath. He's signing some things like he will be 2007 and 17 Miss Olympia. Quite frankly, I don't think so. I think he had an injury lately, probably in his jaw, supposedly. But I have him either number 4 or number 5. He will basically swing that with actually Bonac. From the back, he reminds me, and he was actually very close to Dennis Wolf when Dennis Wolf basically was still on, right? Was still on the circuit. They were always switching places. It was either the more conditioned Dennis Wolf or the roundness of Shawn Rhoden. And while he's not that gifted in the back, quite frankly, as a testament, this oh no, sorry, not this one. This picture, I mean, they look high. The insertions, they're definitely high. And again, as I mentioned when I was talking about Phil Heath, the separation, even when he's on, I mean, sorry, I don't see it. It's not at that level. It's nitpicking, man. See bicep. Where is the bicep? Where is the brachialis? Where is the peak and the tricep? The two heads are not taking their independence. Not that gifted, even on his training videos with Charles Glass, right? His trainer. I don't see it, right? And that will count. So 4 or 5, Mr. Shawn Rhoden. Now, this is going to be rather special because you spoke about 4 or 5. This guy, picture are rather scarce because he came from nowhere, and I was in contact with him pretty much on a daily basis. By the way, his back is going to Kuwait, of course, to consume anabolic chicken. And, you know, since I am actually the inventor of the word anabolic chicken, which I just said in a video just like that, and it became so famous, let me geek out a bit about anabolic chicken and its importance, because a lot of people were saying, bro, these guys are having some genetically modified stuff there, or some myostatin inhibitors, or some crazy things like that. Nah, none of the things, man. You go to Kuwait, it's as simple as this, man. What you consume when it comes to canned knees and anabolic chicken is the pure one, right? So the guy I was talking to is this guy right here, Abdullah. I mean, these guys, they go ahead and bring it from where it's made, like the pure one, like the original one, right? And Kuwait is like this. It's a country that there is 1 million Kuwaiti living in it, and there's 1 million immigrants, or they call them expats, because they're not immigrants. They will not have a nationality. They just go there to work, because work is available. It is so rich, it is so filthy rich with, you know, oil. Their gains are oil. They can afford these kind of things, the grandiose lifestyle, right? I mean, the guy who was training Big Ramy, he has Rolls Royces. When I made a video with him, he was in his yacht. I mean, Porsches, Ferraris, you name it. So they're not in need of money. So the dough they do have, and they can afford the real thing, the pure thing, and the laws are different. So this guy right here, namely Brandon Curie, last year he was non-eventful. He was being compared to freaking Kevin Rooney, for Lord's sake. Went to Kuwait. All he does there, he eats well, he rests well, trains like crazy, and when comes the time for that anabolic chicken, it is the pure grade. It's not something that is made in your freaking hot tub, or okay, the flavor of the month. Bro, we got the Chinese flavor of the month this year, powder this and that. Let's fabricate some creatine with it, if you know what I mean. You know, it has its importance, and it's expensive. Huh? It's expensive. It doesn't go cheap. So when you have it available for you for free, for Lord's sake, all you do is train and eat and rest. You have no girls, no drinking, no drugs, nothing whatsoever. All you do is optimizing your gains. You get metamorphoses, baby, please. And that's what happened. Damn, you're still listening to me? 34 minutes so far. Anyway, you'll be either number 6 or number 7, and these are the proper pictures we had of him, because they're so scarce. I mean, he won 2 shows in a row. He was not even prepared for that. He was telling me, bro, what do I do? Do I do New Zealand or Australia or this or that? I said, bro, do them both. I mean, do this, do that. Why not? You know what I mean? And, well, so they called him, actually, I think, what's his name? Steven Weinberg. I said, bro, I mean, you're so on. Just do the other show. And he was good. Now, of course, it's not perfect. I think the legs can be better. We'll see how it goes, quite frankly. But look at the transformation. He was there for a few weeks, man. I mean, a few months at best. But this time he will prepare from right now. So we have a kind of a long prep. He's already on. I think they told me he weighs already 128 kilograms. Do the math and convert that to pounds. It's a lot, right? This was him again. Proper. He will share again 6 or 7. These guys will be 6 or 7. They will switch the position with this guy here, Cedric McMillan. Now Cedric, of course, he won the Arnold. All due respect, I love the guy. I had a chat with him like last year on my social media. Very respectful. Now, of course, what he has done this year is he came bigger. Of course, the lineup was not that strong. What's his name? Dallas Mccarver. I mean, it was not in his best shape. Let's all agree. He had some issues with his shoulder, and he spilled over a bit. Midsection was not loyal, and I think a week or two later he collapsed. Right, he was sick and so on and so forth. It wasn't a deep lineup, so he came bigger. But granted, he was not the most solid too. I mean, I don't see granity look. The details, he definitely paid the price in that department. The striations, the feathers were not the most loyal. And next to the Phil Heath of this world, Dexter Jack, you can't afford that. I mean, you can win versus the rookie in a sense in Dallas Mccarver, but you can't repeat that next to the big boys. So he'll be switching number 6 or 7 with definitely Dallas Mccarver. I'm expecting him to be a little bit sharper, probably 5 to 10 pounds lighter than his appearance in the Arnold Classic. Now the back is his strength, but look, the conditioning is just not there. I mean, just go back and take a look at the pictures of Phil Heath and even Dexter or even Graeme. They smoke him senseless in the conditioning. The potential is there. Some people even compare him to some cues of Ronnie Coleman, but is it realized? Not as of yet. I mean, the details and the conditioning is on another playing field. So that's what's up. Very long video, quite passionate. Well, thank God the passion seems to be back for me when it comes to bodybuilding. Hopefully it will rekindle the light forever. Nonetheless, this Phil Heath, the gift, who some of you love, some of you hate, some others find arrogant. Well, if you find him arrogant, be ready, because he will unleash some really in-your-face statement quite soon in social media. He will tell you what's up. Like last year, he said, bring them, I'll slay them all. Line them up, I'll slay them all. And well, this year, in my reckoning, he will be Mr. Olympia in a very solid position if nothing happens, if all goes well. Be saluted. Don't forget to like the video and tell me what you guys think about it. 40 minutes video, bro. Mildly saluted.